If you think in order to have a successful brand, you need to look like other successful brands, well, in this video, I'm going to make you think again. Now, before we dive in, if you're struggling with your branding, you'll find my free workbook really helpful. The 4-step process to go from vision to visuals. This will walk you through the steps that you need to take to create a really strong brand identity. So if that's something you're stuck on, make sure you check out the link below and download that. Just because other brands are successful doesn't mean by trying to look like them, you're going to be guaranteed success or that you've got a greater chance of success. Blending in is not the key to success. When it comes to branding, it's about standing out, being unique, showing your own brand personality, and attracting your dream audience. Trying to follow trends or copying other successful brands is only going to hurt your business. What you really need to be focusing on is what makes your brand different. This is the thing that's going to help you design a really strong brand identity and have a brand that stands out and is memorable. If you just try and copy the things that you think are successful, the kind of design styles that successful brands use, then all you end up doing is blending in and just looking like a cheaper version of them. You want to carve out your own identity and become memorable for that. When you try to look like everyone else, you lose what makes your brand special. People aren't going to be attracted to you because you just look like another copy of other brands. People are attracted to things that are different and unique, that catch their attention, that are interesting. Instead of copying other people's styles, what you need to do is focus on your own message first. Really get clear on your own brand foundations and what it is that you want to communicate and who you want to attract, because then you can create something unique and different that is really true to your own business. So think about your brand values, your why, your mission, what you offer, who you're trying to attract, and put that into your branding. Go onto Instagram and start looking at a few different brands. Notice that the ones that look very similar to other brands just don't attract your attention as much. They just seem to blend in more. Whereas when you come across those brands that are really different and unique, you're more intrigued. You want to find more about them because they're doing something different and it's more interesting. You're drawn into their story. You want to know more about this brand. So why is differentiating actually your biggest asset? When your brand is true to you, it's so much easier to connect with your ideal audience. Instead of just following trends or industry standards, think about what makes your business unique that's really going to attract those ideal people. Maybe you have a particular mission or values that you really stand for, and that's going to attract other people with those same values. Or maybe you have a really interesting brand story, and that's going to attract people that really love that story. Think about those things that make your business different from others in your industry and really put that into your branding, because that's going to attract the right kind of people. You don't just look like a general brand that's just for any old person. You start to really carve out your own niche, that you start to attract the kind of people that you really want to work with, because they see the things in your brand that they're attracted to, because you're really expressing who you are and what matters to you. So how do you actually go about creating a brand that's really authentic to you? It really does start with getting clear on those brand foundations, something that a lot of people skip over. They go straight for making mood boards, start to think about the style and look and aesthetic that they want, and forget about all those brand foundations, those things that really inform what your brand message actually is. Really thinking about your brand values, your mission, your why, what it is that you offer, who are you offering it to, what's that ideal audience that you actually have, what's your story, what makes your brand unique. Really start getting clear on those sort of things before you even think about creating mood boards or looking for aesthetic styles. Take a look at other brands in your industry that do similar things and think about what makes your brand different from them. You could even make a chart to show the differentiating factors, things like cheap versus expensive, or using sustainable materials versus mass-produced materials. Think about all the things involved in your industry and start plotting different brands that are very similar to yours on those charts, and then think about where you are and start to notice how you are different from others in your industry, especially very similar kinds of brands, maybe people that are in the same area or offering the same sort of thing or have a similar kind of audience. How are you different from them? And when you spot those factors that make you different, they're the things that you really want to enhance in your branding and really make stand out, because that's the thing that's going to set you apart and help you build a really unique unique and different brand that attracts people. So remember, if you want a successful brand, it's not about blending in, it's not about looking like other successful brands in your industry, it's not about following trends that everyone loves right now either. It's about getting clear on your own brand message and what makes you different, and really allowing that to direct your brand visuals. Let me know in the comments below, what's one thing that makes your brand really different from others in your industry? And if you'd like to learn more about branding and graphic design, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.